Hello, hello. Let's see if anyone shows up early. Nobody yet. Well, there you go, David. Hello. Yeah, I'm an old napper. A napper who's old. Outcast metal detecting. Hey. I'm having to restart my devices for some reason. My phone and my computer. Well, I tried to restart my computer earlier. Hey, Stonehead. Stonehead 62. Matthias, hello. You made it today, Matthias. Yes, you did. Everything looks rather yellow. Yeah. It's still light out. Hey, Scott. How's it going? Another old napper? All righty. Another old napper. Cool. I got your box of Tallahassee ready. All right, cool. Just got to go to the post office one evening to ship it. All right. The Bluesman 226, David Strait, Pennsylvania. Got a lot of people very quickly. It's not even 6 o'clock yet, Eastern time. Let me know if you get a notification or if you don't get a notification. I want to see if people are actually getting notifications. And I've got an auction going on right now. Hey, Ed, some nice points on the auction. Yeah. Yeah, let me know if you get a notification. I have an auction going on right now. You can bid if you want. I'll be checking the auction on my phone from time to time. Mike Mason. So Matthias got a notification. Okay. David Eldridge. Stonehead. I got notified. Okay, good. I got one. Bluesman got one. All right, cool. So it is working. That's good. And I got one too. See? I got a notification right there in the middle. I can watch myself live if I want. All right. This is cool. I don't have any topics for tonight. I'm just going to read from Yahi Archery if I get a break from reading the comments. Yahi Archery is what I'm reading on the live streams right now by Saxton Pope. Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about? Doesn't have to be flint knapping or archery or anything primitive like that. You can talk about anything you want. One time on the last live stream, we were talking about how to make barbecue or something, how to make soups. Mike Mason, wouldn't that create a paradox? You would talk yourself into circles. Yeah, it creates a what do you call that? Whirlpool of it creates a I don't know. I can't think. Tom Brown, hello. Jesse, hey. Keith Ricketts, hello. You made it. Let's see some sweat stage. There's no nappings on Monday. Yeah. I was talking about looking at myself on the live stream. It creates a vortex, a time-space continuum vortex if I do that. My brain's slow. Let's see. Hey, guys, Jesse says, yeah. David, let's talk about Trump. You mean like everybody else? Yeah. I mean, we can. Anything you want to talk about. Don't matter to me. Just put it in the comment section and we'll give it a go. And if there's no trolls that show up, I'll either troll myself or you guys can troll me. The funny thing is, if, like I've said before, if you let the trolls know that they're actually helping, they disappear. So in case you're new to the stream, because there's 14 people, there's usually about 20 to 30. If you're new to the live stream, my name is Patrick. The channel name is Jack Crafty. Okay, my name's not Jack. My name is Patrick. My last name's not Crafty. My last name is Blank. Literally, Blank. That's my last name. No politics, please, says Ed Gould. Yeah, it's actually better not to talk about politics or religion in a public forum. Yeah. But, you might bring something up and it might not be too bad as long as we don't start arguing. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm checking the auction from time to time. So I'll be doing that once I get, if I get a pause in the comments and all that. Um, yeah, my phone's working now. It was slow earlier. Yeah. Okay, so we've got some people in the auction that are also on the live stream, but there's not many. I can see people that are bidding in the auction, but I don't see them on the live stream. They might be watching it at the same time. It's not a live auction, okay? It's just you just bid in the comment section of the auction video. And hopefully you'll be able to see everybody else's comments. All the comments are not always visible. If you're having trouble, I can answer a question. You can put a comment in this chat comment section and say, hey, did you see my bid? I bid like $5. And I'll go, yeah, I think I did. I'll put a like on all the bids that I see. If there's no like on it, I don't see it. So right now I'm putting all the likes on all the bids. And if you refresh the video or the comment section and you don't see a like on your bid, maybe I don't see it. All right, I went through that first round of checking everybody. Let's see. Did you hear the dentist down the road got busted for weed? I was going there for 20 years and never knew he was a dentist. What is a fake spaghetti called? An impasta. That's how they say imposter up here anyway. He's an impasta. I'm going to a new quarry. We'll pick up some nice bits for you and send. David says he's going to send me some quarry bits or materials. All righty. Perfect. I'll try anything once. Yeah. Or twice. Or 3 times. Nappers don't get it through their head very easily. They'll try anything once, twice, 3, 4 times. Yeah. Yeah. Post more jokes in the comment section. And make sure all you guys talk to each other too. If you've got rocks for sale or if you know of somebody that you can recommend that I haven't put on my lists or something like that, I got to update all my lists today and tomorrow. I was supposed to do that last week, but I didn't. So I'll update my sellers list. I got a couple more sellers to put on there. Tools. I need to update who's selling tools. Update the guys in Europe because we've got people from the UK and from Denmark, from Spain. Let us know where there's rocks for sale in the UK and in Europe. I'm going to, let's see, be nice bit of English flint. What did the egg say as he was dropped into the boiling water? I don't think I'll get hard. I was just laid this morning. And okay. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, any issues you have with anything? If you don't like the no talk videos, you can tell me. If you do like them, do more no talk videos. Do more of those because I can actually watch those without hurling. Then tell me. Mm-hmm. So just don't mind me. I'm checking the phone here. I'm deleting all kinds of messages. I opened up my email to receive messages from as many people as possible from all my different sources, and now I'm getting bunches of spam again. Jim Cooper, hey, Matthias, any boppers for sale in Europe? Boppers for sale in Europe. Yeah, good question. So everyone put on your thinking caps or whatever. And if anyone's heard of any boppers or napping tools being sold in Europe, let us know. I don't know of any, not boppers. And I've had to ship copper caps and copper rods to Europe because they're not available for a reasonable price. For some reason, copper is very expensive. David English Flint. Where are you in England? Are you close to Berkshire? Yeah. Yeah. Talk to each other about where to go to get English Flint. How do you fix a broken tomato? Tomato paste. The mail came today. Yeah. And I know I got your email. You said everything arrived today or something like that. That's that's kind of strange that everything would arrive at the same time, unless you've got a box that's being held at the post office, a box that has everything being held there. Let's see. I actually like the talk videos. I listen to your talking while I'm napping. Well, there's one for talk videos. Justin, hello. Don't they have eBay in Europe? Yeah, but you got to pay the shipping. Yeah, and uh, sometimes there's like import tax or customs taxes or tariffs that are outrageous because but sometimes when I ship to Europe, there's a customs tax, and eBay has to go through all that too. And some eBay sellers, I shouldn't say some, many eBay sellers don't ship to Europe. They say US only. So you can't just say, don't they have eBay? No, they do, but not everyone ships to Europe. Will Lord would be the guy to ask about Flint locales in England. Yeah, but I'm sure he keeps his secrets about that because he needs to supply his own channel and his own business. I'm not sure if he's a rock seller. He's a flint napper instructor, and he needs material. So he might be not be selling it or telling you where he's getting it. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. He might be a good guy to get the sources from. I like to talk video, says Mike Mason. Matthias, a bopper set is like 50 to 60 USD and the shipping is 85 USD from the US. So see how much the import tax is terrible. And Matthias, you're in Denmark. The same situation happens in Spain as well. I've been shipping to Spain. Mike Tufts, hey everybody. Or he says hello to everybody, not to me. Yeah, he did. Let's see, Mike Mason. Any bids on 08? That thing is pretty. It reminds me of the Eastgate basil notch, kinda. Where is number 8? Which one? Yeah, this one. This is in the thumbnail. This is the art point. Any bids? Yeah, there was bids on it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's up to. What is it up to? Let's see. Let's see. Come on. I have an old phone, but it shouldn't be slow. Here we go. Let's see now. Go all the way to number 8. There's 2 bids on it. The high bid right now is $18. We still got 3 hours to go. Almost 3 hours. Let's see. Rev Nighthawk. Hey, ask for corn. Hello. R. Snyder. Yeah, he says Will Lord is a cool guy. Justin says he loves the yap yap. Okay. I made my own boppers. Midbar says he made his own boppers. Copper caps add up fast. Yeah. Had plenty of fishing weights laying around. Awesome. Yeah, but trying to think. I mean, you can get plumbing supplies in Europe, right? I just used, when I first started making my own boppers, I just used plumbing supplies with steel pipe and steel caps. There's some videos where I use steel pipe and steel caps put together as a bopper, but I had to grind the steel cap because it has little nubs on it, or whatever you call them. You have to grind those off. But you can use a steel cap as the cap on a steel pipe, and you can use that as a bopper. They come in different sizes. Let's see. Happy bidding, everyone, and great auction. Thanks. I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you think so. The number 2 Lost Lake looking blade was fantastic. You had some cool art points with those side serrations. Thanks. Sweat caps are hard to come by here where I am at, Mike Mason says. Jim Cooper, they just opened up a Home Depot near me, so that should drive local prices down a bit. Yeah, hopefully. Scott L is a great napper. He just posted a bifacing video. Hey, Jordan Kirkpatrick says, hey, I'm a little late. Just glad I didn't miss it. Yep, we got some time. We just started. We got until 8 p.m. Eastern. Do you have to anneal the steel cap? No, you don't. It just straight. Just straight from the store. I don't like to do anything special to any of the material that I get. I don't even twist the copper that I get or pound it down. Let's see. This is the second item on the auction. I called it a harden at first, but I forgot that this is what a lost lake looks like. See, I'm not an expert on these. Yeah, I just did the notches kind of sloping upward. It's made of hornstone, and I remembered, hey, I can make these out of hornstone with the sloped up notches. But yeah, Lost Lake. That's what I should have called it instead of a harden. But I put Lost Lake and hardening in the description in the auction. So whatever it is, that's what it is. Hey, I have been struggling with straightening hazel shafts. Any advice? Xander, struggling with straightening hazel shafts. Are you bundling them after straightening them? After straightening, or are you breaking them? Tell me exactly what the problem is, because if you're breaking them during straightening, I need to know how you're applying heat, or if you're not applying heat. Usually what I do for straightening shoots that I gather is I cold straighten them first without heat, and then I bundle them. And then I unbundle after a few weeks and I cold straighten them again. Just straighten them cold as best, the best I can, and then bundle them again, and then wait for a couple months for them to dry, and then I use heat. I don't use heat on them right away. And I bundle them together, 7 or more. But tell me specifically what the problem is on the hazel shafts. Was it traffic heavy? Road construction next to the house. Let's see. Looks like you got the hornstone edges razor sharp. Yeah, I tried to get that really sharp. The hornstone sharpens up nicely. And I don't have to worry about crushing. That's one good thing about chert or flint compared to obsidian. Obsidian crushes so easily that you've got to be tiptoeing through the tulips to sharpen that stuff. What the irony is, the obsidian is the sharpest stuff on the planet, but only if it's a natural flake edge. To actually sharpen obsidian is extremely difficult when you're starting from an edge, a biface, a bifaced edge. Let's see. Ditch the hazel and start growing native southeast river cane. Yeah, I suppose so. But river cane comes in different varieties. Some has really big nodes. You got to stay away from the large node river cane. For the price of a 1.5 inch cap and the lead plus the hardener cost me $8.35. Mike Tufts. Yeah, it's pretty cheap if you get steel. Okay, so for the price of an 1.5 inch cap, 1 5/8 outside. Okay, you're talking about copper caps, right? Cost me $8.35. The copper caps, they go up and down in price. Retail, one copper cap for me, retail, 1.5 inch, I think has cost me up to $16 or $14. It was pretty expensive last time I checked. But that's local retail prices. They pretty much mark them up from the wholesale, not the wholesalers, but from the businesses that sell to other businesses. I guess that's a wholesaler. My boppers are heavier than most. I found a majority of sellers only fill up the dome portion of the cap. I fill mine up much further. I see. Jim Cooper. Hey, Ass Butters here. How's it going? Stonehead 62. Gotta go. I just was released from hospital. Yay. See you later. Got some free steel, 3 penny-sized rods from computer printers to nap with. Interesting. I use one of those tower heaters for the choke cherry. Use some duck grease now and then. So you heat the shafts with a space heater and duck fat. I don't ever put fat or oil or wax or anything on the shafts themselves because I want to paint them later and I want the paint to stick. Or if I want to stain them, I want the stain to penetrate. And I don't like using oil-based stains or something that'll be harsh enough to penetrate into the oil or wax finish. I use one of those tower heat. Okay. Yep. Obsidian is still used in certain surgeries. Can hold an edge 4 times sharper than surgical steel. Yeah. But that's only if it's a natural edge. Just try sharpening that stuff with a pressure flaker. Yeah. See, Xander says, I just can't get them straight enough, and I've been cold straightening, by the way. Okay. You just can't get them straight enough. The only advice I can give you is just use. Well, what are you using for a arrow wrench, or what are you using to straighten them? Are you using your thumbs? Are you using an arrow wrench? Are you using something else? What are you using to straighten them? Mike Mason, dang, they are used so little here. When I went to get one copper cap, they just gave it to me. No, they don't give it to us here. It's $5.35 without filling the cap. It's $8.35 without filling the cap, doming the cap, sanding the cap, putting the flux on the cap, and then turn the handle and then epoxy it together and then put a finish. Yeah. Heat treating Georgetown Flint was a huge mistake. Have you seen this? Stephen D asked the question. Well, it depends on how hot. And did you have a temperature gauge in the turkey roaster or the kiln? Because it can blow up if you heat it too high. If it goes over 400, you're playing with dice. Georgetown Flint heat treat, if you do it right, comes out beautifully. I just had a batch sent to me as slabs, and they so far so good. Has anyone ordered any root beer from Dan Sutton? I'm trying to remember if I have The only time I've ordered root beer was from Kurt's Church, and he knows his root beer. I don't know about Dan Sutton. Let's see. Lucky dog, Mike. Yeah, see, Mike, you can probably offer just the caps themselves on either your website or here in the comment section. If people are not able to get caps cheaply, you can ship them in a small flat rate priority box for $10. And if you order like 5 caps or more, it's worth it. I think 5 caps is less. It's going to be less than 3 pounds of weight. Oh, it doesn't matter if you ship them in a priority box, though. Let's see. Jordan, do you mean Don Sutton? Let's see. Yes, Jim. I found a lost lake made of Carter Cave. The base was showing, pulled it out, and half of it was missing. Yeah, sadness. Last I heard, he was kind of getting out of the game. Okay. So, Don Sutton, that's his name. Yeah, but if you want root beer, order from Danny Collins. He's got a bunch right now. It might not last. It might already be sold out. Who knows? But Danny Collins, Flint Knapping Traditions with a S.com. What's this? Xander says, use my thumbs and knee. What's that mean? Let's see. Asbutter. I just today finished my first Ishibo today. This thing is killer. All right, well, post a video. If you guys have videos, let me know in the comment section so I can check it out. What is going on? Someone emailing me? Okay, messaging me on Facebook or Instagram. Same thing. Yeah? I don't know. If you're messaging me during the live stream, I apologize. I probably won't be able to get to it. Let's see. Spring recycle days can get the steel and copper caps for the boppers. You get to look through the recycle trash? They won't let us look through the recycle trash. Had to watch Apocalypto again yesterday. The weapons, the guy made some neat stuff for that movie. Now I want an obsidian sword. Yeah. Midbar, are you over in Europe? Somewhere? UK? I can't remember. I think they are going away due to modern plumbing techniques, the copper caps. Maybe. Well, maybe in Europe, the codes have changed. I still see a lot of copper being used everywhere. I do watch plumbing videos and construction videos and home inspection videos. I try to keep up on that stuff. I got to do a lot of remodeling here in my dad's house. This is just a really cheap, tiny house. It's not even, the interior paint is still primer. See, this is all primer. This is not interior paint. I got to paint the interior. The floor is sagging because I think he used 2x6s instead of 2x8s or 2x10s. Shortcuts. And he sprayed some foam insulation, but it's only partially full. I have a feeling, especially on the wall near the front door, the flies can fly in through the outlet. I see flies in the outlet and the flies will come out of the outlet. So there's a way for them to get in here. And if he had sprayed the foam fully within the spaces, this wouldn't happen. So I'm not thinking that I'm going to take away, or I'm not going to gut this place and remove all the drywall. I'll do it little by little, but I have a feeling it wasn't done right. But I know the plumbing for sure was not done right. And the guy that did the electrical put the breaker box in the basement. And I don't have an interior access to the basement. I got to go around back and go in the basement around back. And in the winter, when it freezes up, I can't open the back to go into the basement. So if I were to blow a breaker or something in wintertime, I would have to go out there and dump hot water on the back door, get it unfrozen, however long that might take. I was worried that was going to happen this winter. Luckily, I didn't trip any breakers or anything. I'm thinking of putting a trap door here in the floor so I can get down to the panel. But he should have put the panel up here, you know, somewhere up here. Anyways, I'll probably be doing that too, moving the panel and all that. Let's see. People dome their caps, but kind of like the square edge to get into a tight spot. Yeah, to take a flake. They will eventually get rounded on their own. That's true. The If you use a copper cap without modifying it, it will eventually dome itself. Yep. Ed Gould Collins is supposed to be getting some root beer, I think. Yeah, Danny Collins. Did I say that or did I say their name wrong? Ask Butter. No, it's not posted on there yet. I want to wait for some more arrow shoots to grow and make a video about all of it. Okay. All righty. Just don't tell us that you got something awesome and don't show it. My 1.5-inch bopper from the major flint knapping supply is 8.5 ounces. Mine are around 15 ounces. Awesome. Yeah. So be aware, Mike Tuft's boppers are heavy duty. You can't post anything here. Why can't you post anything here? Ed, let me know, you guys that are technical minded, if you are able to post any kind of links in the comment section during the live chat. If you can't, just spell out your channel name or spell out your Facebook name or something, but don't make it a link. Just spell it out for us. Happy Monday, Patrick. Hey, Smallzilla. Hey, Harley. You caught the live stream. Yay. Let's see. Aspetter says he'll do a quick video. Awesome. There you go. Now you're cooking with gas. I got a video of a spin top. Yeah, I saw that one, Mike. Let's see. Jim Cooper. I live in a one-room cedar plank cabin. I feel your pain. Cedar plank cabin doesn't sound too bad, though. It must smell nice in there. Let's see. Northwest Arizona here. The Obsidian Mounds are a 3-hour drive away. Okay, so you're in Arizona. San Francisco Peaks in Arizona. Okay. I'm trying to remember your last comment. I forgot it already. Mike Tufts. I like that idea, Jesse. And you can see where you're striking better. Yeah, with the unmodified copper caps is not a bad idea. Let's see. I've been using thumbs and knee. Oh, for straightening. Okay, Xander. Arrow chefs. Do you recommend an arrow wrench? Yeah, I recommend arrow wrench for sure because it allows you to bend in a tighter diameter. Where's my arrow wrench? Hold on. Here we go. I'm keeping everything inside now because it's so much easier. I actually have more than one arrow wrench, and I will show it because this is not only live stream, but it's show and tell. All right. Osage orange. Various different diameters can be bent with these. Now, these are harsh bends, and I haven't finished this yet because you're supposed to round over all the corners, the sharp corners. But this is an Osage orange indestructible arrow wrench with different size, I don't know, wrenches. I use this one the most right now, and I've kind of sanded down the sharp corner right there. you've got to get rid of the sharp corners, okay? This is one I've been using for coal straightening mainly, and I think this one is poplar, which is a soft wood. So it doesn't bite into the shafts very much. It kind of, if the shaft is very hard and dry, it'll bite into the wrench rather than the wrench biting into the shaft. Okay, so I think that opening there is about 1/2 inch. Let's see. It's actually 3/4 inch opening there and probably a 3/4 inch depth. Yeah, exactly 3/4 inch depth and 3/4 inch there. And then I rounded all the edges. This is my primary arrow wrench. And I use this for cold or hot straightening. Okay. I also have this one. This is my old one. This one's made of this is made out of white oak, live oak, which is a white oak. It's made of live oak, one of the heaviest, densest hardwood you can get. And it's just, I think, a 3/4 inch hole. No. 1/16 inch less than 3/4 inch, whatever that is. 11/16 or something. And it's rounded. The sharp edges are rounded, so it doesn't bite into the shaft. See that? I rounded off the sharp edges. This is good when I was first starting to straighten some really tough shafts, especially when you're straightening a river cane. I was using this, but I found I can still use this, because the river cane will pop out. If it's really tough, and it's very smooth. River cane is very smooth and slick. It'll pop out of here when you're trying to straighten it. Nothing will pop out when you're using this kind of a straightener. You know what I mean? It just stays on the shaft. You don't have to worry about twisting it in various ways. This one, the shaft will pop out if it's a really tough wood like oak or hickory that you're trying to straighten. Okay, so that's what I used to begin with for all my shafts, but I figured after a while, this is just easier because I don't have to keep feeding the shaft through the hole and taking it back out and feeding it in on the next one. Just extra time. This one is just on and off. Okay. Show and tell over for now. Yes. I'm always there. Let's see. Jim Cooper says, I'm always there in January. It's so cold. It's too cold to go get obsidian. Okay. Brutus, hey. Just been listening. All right. So you've been lurking. Jim Cooper, our well house froze. I had an ice plume in my shower. That's not good. You need to get a heater for that shower. Brutus, howdy, just been listening. Yep. Jim Cooper, let's see, I already read that. Ed Gould, the salvage yard here has a big bin of copper, and I used to go there and dig out nice pieces, and they would sell at copper price. You are lucky. You know what they do here? They steal copper here, up here in the Northeast. I don't know why. You can't find any of it up for free. It's always, if it's something's laying out made of copper, it's gone. It'll be stolen. And this is one of the areas of the country where there's no crime at all. But you know what they'll steal? Copper. Why? I have no idea. Midbar, do you get your obsidian near Government Mountain or close to Humphreys Peak? Yeah, let everybody know. Let's see. Pictures can't be posted. Yeah, pictures can never be posted on YouTube. You know that, Ed. But you can post pictures on your channel by uploading a picture as a video. Yeah. You didn't know? Now you know. Okay, let's see. And you can even display pictures, do a video like I'm doing now, except you go, this is a picture of me. This is a picture of my bow. This is a picture of my arrows. You can do that on video. This is a printout of all my stuff. Be a little imaginative. Let's see. I have to hike up to get the good stuff. Yeah, usually the good stuff requires a good hike. Even around here, you can get some good stuff once in a while, but it requires a lot of hiking. Mhm. Where am I? Where am I? You have to add space. Let's see. Government Mountain. All right. Okay, let's see. Mike Mason, you have to add a space in the link or it won't send. Yeah, just corrupt the link. I think that's what they call it. If you corrupt a link so it doesn't work, you can post it. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. You can't just copy and then paste the link and then hit enter on the search because it won't come up because it's got a corruption in it. You've got to make sure you know how to remove the space or whatever and make it obvious where the space is that where it shouldn't be so you can unspace it and then it'll work. Just in case you don't know. I had trouble with that when I first started doing stuff like that. You learn that stuff from forums. If you're on a forum, sometimes they don't allow you to post links. I think Paleo Man Jim showed me how to make my first copper lead bopper. Yeah, I saw he has a video on those, on how to do that. I used a copper pipe length, cut and flared one end, then set it into the molten lead for a handle. Works great. Let's see. Well, just be aware that mine are heavier if you're used to a certain weight also. Yep. Mike says his are heavier than the usual. Yeah, my indirect has gotten better since I started using a different angle. I realized I was tilting it down too much instead of keeping it even or tilted up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad you probably saw it from the front view, I guess, right? I'm glad it helped. Killer Cork, I'm late again. Dang, too many projects, not enough time. Yeah. Welcome to my world. Killer Cork says, hello, everybody. That angle was 52.6, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, Jordan knows this. He knows what's going on the channel. Let's see. Look more like 51.84 degree angle. Yeah, it does. It does cross into that range for sure. Ash Butter says, I uploaded 2 videos, but they posted to shorts on my page. You can see arrows and the bow. Awesome. Let's see. Midbar. Jesse Para says, Midbar, a lot of the obsidian I got at Government Mountain had cracks with crystal pockets. I found a couple pieces of dacite, though. It was primo. Yeah, good. Dacite works. What we call dacite. Some people get all bent out of shape because it's not really dacite. It's not called dacite in the geologist manuals, okay? Yeah. We know. We know. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Halfnir says, hey there, love your stuff. You taught me a lot, and I can now make simple arrowheads. I have problems with bigger pieces. They snap. I think it's because how I hold them. Any advice? Yeah, don't snap them. Yeah. Make sure they don't snap. That's my advice. Well, how do you make them not snap? That's what I want to know. Welcome to the club. How many have I snapped? Let's see. I think it's 6,427. Yeah. But don't quote me on that. That's how many I've snapped. And when I ask for advice on how to not snap it, everyone says, don't snap it. That's my advice. Yeah. Without me knowing, now seriously, without me knowing what you're doing, how am I supposed to know how to not snap it? What are you doing? Are you handing it over to your dog and waiting and letting him chew on it? And then they snap? I don't know what you're doing. I ain't kidding, I know. But you got to tell me what's going on, or I can't tell you how not to snap it. Can I get a live reaction to my stuff, Jack? I have no one else to show this stuff to. Everybody on this live stream can now see your stuff. What are you talking about? I mean, they could just go over to your channel. I can't sit here and try to figure out where your stuff is. You'll have to send me a link so I can tap one button when I'm on the live stream and get to it. Otherwise, how am I supposed to know where it is? Quickly. And let's see if I got any emails. I have not gotten any emails during the live stream. You send me an email with a link, and I'll try to get to it, as long as it's not like right at 5 minutes before the end of the live stream. All right? All right. They used live oak in building 1700s warships so strong that cannonballs bounce off. Yes, indeed. And there used to be one guy that still sold large enough live oak tree trunks to do repairs and renovations and even reconstructions of those old sailing ships. I don't know if he's still around though. But yeah, live oak is tough stuff. Let's see. Killer Cork says, I saw R. Snyder, what's up? I saw your last comment. Where'd you find the lost lake point? I plan to do some arrowhead hunting ASAP. Come this in springtime, I suppose. Let's see. Let me go back here. Oh, I'm way behind on the chat. Okay, let me get caught up here. Hafnir, I generally love the content. Keep it up. Thank you. Ed Gould says they steal copper here too. About 10 miles was taken down here a few years ago. Yeah. Mike Mason says stealing copper happens because people like to meth around. Yes, indeed. I think so. I think that's it. Jordan says, you got that right, Mike. Killer Cork says, yep, always love the content. Good stuff. Well, thank you. Jim Main says, hello, everybody. Mike Tufts, one of you guys in this chat needs to start making copper caps for us. Yeah, make domed copper caps. Yes? Killer Cork, that was in Southern Ohio. Found lots of artifacts when I lived there for 5 years. All right. Artifacts in Southern Ohio. Smallzilla asks, Patrick, a friend posed a fairly entertaining question to me with the tools I sent you. Since they were 3D printed, what do you think the natives would have thought of 3D printing? The idea made me smile. The natives would have thought that the 3D printing was made by aliens. Yeah. That's what they would have thought. Yep, Jesse Parra. Best obsidian I've grabbed off Government Mountain was up the ridges and not the surface stuff. I see. Ed Gould says, I got some 3-inch thick rod out of the bin years ago and only have 1 4-inch piece left. Dang. Yeah, we can't get that stuff around here for free. Mike Mason says, don't snap me. And if you're fishing, the fish are in the water. My grandpa, do they know about keeping the ends smaller than the middle? I don't know. Probably not. Bush is here. Come on. No, not that button. Bushy is here. Yes, in the house. I'm a little bit behind. I'm like 4 minutes behind on the chat. R. Snyder, nice. Actually planned to go to Southern Ohio. Let's see. Smallzilla says, on the snapped points topic, I have what I call the bowl of disappointment. It's filled with snaps, Cookie Monster bites, failed preforms, notch ears, and Crap materials. Yeah. I need a bigger bowl. I sell those when I do that. That's called my box of broken bifaces. Let's see. Scott Lauer says, I got a 3-inch copper cap for a mega bopper. I'm going to need to go weight training to wield that thing. Yep. Can't wait to turn some stuff to dust. That was the way I dealt with broken points when I first started. I would pound them into powder when I broke one. Yes. Ask me how many powdered points I've made in the past. How many powdered points did you make? Let's see. I think there's more than a dozen, and they were all highly satisfying. Yes. I need to make another powdered point. Oh, yes. Let's see. Brutus, how about a copper grounding rod? $20 on Amazon. I have one on the way. A grounding rod is steel on the inside. It's not solid copper. Unless you buy a solid copper grounding rod, but I don't think they sell those unless they're short. I think there's a steel. Okay, Brutus. They still work though. You're just going to wear off the copper pretty quick, and you're going to see that it's a steel core. Let's see. Jesse says, I can't wrap my head around why a slightly browned copper flaker seems to work better than a more sharpened one. It's because it remains in contact with the platform longer. A large surfaced rounded, or even a flat large surface bopper remains in contact longer with the platform, and that creates a longer flake or a more controlled flake. If it's very short in terms of time in contact with the platform, you'll get a short flake or unpredictable flake or both. I don't pay attention to that too much because I'm not like fully focused on only long flakes. So I'll deal with not being able to get really long flakes. But eventually I'll have to develop skill in generating long flakes to copy some artifacts to get some street cred. Other than that, I don't need to make long flakes, but I'm going to do it to get some street cred. You don't know what street cred is? Look it up. Let's see. Mike Tuff says, Scott, you'll need get muscles. What? Brutus says 4 foot by 3/8 inches for the grounding rod. 4 foot grounding rod instead of an 8 foot grounding rod, 3/8 inches. That doesn't sound like a standard grounding rod. I think a standard one is 8 foot by 3/4 inch. I don't know. I can't remember. Let's see. Keith Rickett says, just looked at Ask Butter's videos. Not bad, sir. Awesome. What's the name of your channel, Ask Butter? Is it Ask Butter? Put the name of your channel in here so I can go see. I probably already have the information somewhere. It just will take me forever to figure out how to get to it within 5 seconds on the live stream. Let's see. The grounding rods are plated in copper. Yes, they are. Killer Cork, you'll find a lot down here. Artifact hunting is better there than here in Michigan. Bobby's here. Let's see. Bobby says, let's see if I can get back to it. They broke into the bakery 3 doors down and ripped out all the copper from the basement. Brutal. Yeah. My dad owned 2 houses. He sold his big house. This is his small house. Next door to his big house, the family that had moved in most recently couldn't pay the mortgage, so they booted them out. They were squatting in there for a little while, and when they booted them out, they found out why they were squatting. They removed all the copper piping from the house. Yes, they did. Amazing. So it's just sitting there. The house is just sitting there abandoned. I mean, the local business that's right next to it bought the property, but the house is boarded up. It's a shame. I could have I could have actually bought the house. If I hadn't have bought a house in Texas, I could have bought that house right next to my dad's house. Could have bought that house. It was very inexpensive at the time. I think it was only $70,000 at that time. Now, even in its dilapidated condition, gutted and no piping, I think it's probably over 150,000, or it's doubled in price, even in its terrible condition. That's how crazy the house prices have gotten. Let's see. When I looked at it, it was about 20 years ago. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Brutus, I think it might be copper coated steel. Yes, it is. Those grinding rods are copper coated steel. Let's see. Powdered point. Yeah. Jesse is laughing at the powder point. When I spent 3 hours on a blade and it snapped, I powdered a point into dust with a hammerstone. Yes, it's very satisfying. The best satisfying, let's say, the most satisfying flint knapping is when you decimate and crush and pulverize and powderize the failure so that it is gone from existence. You just go and drop it into the wind. Yeah, it's the best feeling ever. Nobody will know. Best Michigan farms for artifact hunting are on the larger rivers. I see. Let's see. Jim Cooper. Let's see. Copper prices are going to go out of sight. Yeah, they already are in many places. What would be a material you may have napped and want to again, or material you've always wanted to work? From Evan. What's the material that I want to work that I haven't worked yet? I don't know. Let's see. I would like to work. I do know. I would like to work solid bricks of high grade glass that's not transparent. It could be any color except, the pastels. I'd rather, not rather, I would like to nap solid black glass blocks, solid black glass, solid white glass, solid brown or amber glass, just big bricks, like 4x4x6 of solid glass. I can't find them anywhere unless I order them from glass blowers or something like that. And their contacts, they keep the contacts uh, very private. I think it's like $15 an ounce for glass or some weird, absolutely outrageous price for these block glasses. And that's a big block of glass like that is like, I don't know, 40 ounces at least. So you can kind of add it up, and it's ridiculous. It's probably not $15 an ounce, but it's something ridiculous because last time I checked, it was like $80 for me to get a brick sized piece of solid black glass. And I said, why that much? And my friend says, oh, I don't use much of it. That big, solid, big block of glass lasts me a couple of years. Yeah. But that's what I would like to get my hands on cheaply. All right. Let's see what it says here. Jesse says, guy sold me an Ishi stick at a nap-in with an Osage handle. The copper wire inside is telegraph wire, a little tougher than the cold rolled copper. I see. Hey, Devin says, yo, hello. I'm late on the chat. I'm getting behind. See, Jim says, clearly Patrick missed my alliteration. Yeah, what's your alliteration? If I missed it, just repeat it, please. I still got a beer bottle point I made fishing one day using a piece of barbed wire about 40 years ago. Oh, the possum's out in the front door, chowing down on the cat food. Yeah, I figured out which animal sounds like Cookie Monster eating the cat food. Just it's the possum. Yep, and he's outside right now. It's that loud I can hear it. Which reminds me, I need to go buy some more cat food. Let's see. I still got a beer bottle point I made. Okay. Let me get caught up here. Let's see. Let's see. Save out your 1982 and prior pennies, about 4 cents per penny these days in copper, I suppose. Right, Brutus? Devin says, I have a solid brick of cobalt blue, but it does have air bubbles. Okay, so you've got some cullet glass. Yeah. Just see. 10th power. Let's see. Killer Cork. Gotta eat Din Din. Be back. All right. Go eat some Din Din. Scott says, hi, Ralph. Let's see. Ed says, there's a guy here that used to make glass panes for leaded glass. I haven't been there for a while, but he might have some barrels of big glass blobs. Yeah, just be careful with the leaded glass. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a whole lot of P's in a row when I was trying to explain this. Let's see. Midbar says, still gutting an old trailer somebody left in grandma's backyard. Twisting the copper wire makes it hard and perfect for flakers. I see. Jim Cooper says, proper platform preparation prevents powdered point production. Not always. And sometimes, hold on here. I got a notification. Sometimes you do it on purpose when you don't like a point. You finish it out. It didn't break. You look at it and you go, yeah, that step fracture makes me sick. Get you. You get revenge on stacks. If your point that you finished has a stack on it and it's driving you nuts, so I could have done a lot better, you just powder that point and get revenge. Yes, indeed. With the mention of large chunks of glass for napping, have you ever looked for someone selling large ceramic blocks, or do you prefer glass as opposed to ceramic? Smallzilla. Let's see. Yes to everything. The answer to your question is yes, because I have looked for everything and I have used everything. Someone's actually sent me a piece of a glass brick that they used to have, but these friends that I've had have worked either demolition or construction sites that have these things just sitting around. Glass countertops, broken, especially the remodelers. I've had friends and subscribers and people that I've met that were remodelers that have torn out old stuff, glass block windows and walls, glass countertops and whatnot. And they'll send me pieces of this kind of stuff. So I've napped it all. I just can't seem to find them brand new. They don't make them anymore. They've gone to some other composite materials. You know what I'm saying? They don't use glass like they used to. I like possums. I find them cute and they eat a lot of ticks and I hate ticks. Yeah. I've heard that they don't eat that many ticks. I don't know. I got to check it out. The thing is, we don't have any ticks here. So I don't know if it's because of the possums or what, but I think it's mainly because of the birds that we don't have many ticks here. In my yard and in the backyard in this area, there's no ticks. But as soon as I go out to the trail, there's lots of ticks. And I think it's just the lack of lots of birds. There's lots of birds around here because everyone's got bird feeders and stuff. Let's see. I saw a video of a guy crushing up a ton of beer bottles, very dark in color, and melting in a kiln, the nice square brick form. Yeah. You can do that with glass. Yeah. With just regular bottle glass, you can recycle it. And, the glass blower friend that I have does that too. He'll go and he'll look for different free glass and he can melt it down. Yeah. Someone is face napping. Yeah, the one that guy's eating din din is face napping that food. No, leaded glass like churches. I don't know what that means. Mike says, instead of raising chickens, would it be profitable for you to get a kiln? No, because I don't want to sell materials. Yeah. I'm not a material seller. I don't want to get into selling materials. I might have to try to, um, I might have to get on one of those forums or one of those professional associations for glass makers and do the glass maker thing. You know, mm, uh, not make anything out of melted glass, but get into a glass community and let them know that I need glass for my work, and then start networking and figuring out where do you get these pieces of glass that are raw materials that I might need. Because I've looked everywhere retail and it's way too expensive to make it uh, worthwhile. Let's see. Evan says Jesse Parra was probably using the microwave kiln. Would be cool to see Mr. Crafty use one and make a point. Yeah, I've got a microwave kiln. I can heat up some bottle bottoms. I can do that. Yeah, it's not that interesting though. After I've tried it already, I've already tried doing it. Not myself, but I've a friend of mine, like I said, who's a glass blower. He can make me a disc of glass, no problem. So I worked some discs of glass. He melts it in an actual furnace. That way he can control the thickness and take it out just in time. With a kiln in a microwave, you can't just pop the thing open and make sure the thickness is where you want and then start cooling it. But my friend, he can take it out of the furnace and put it in a kiln, and it'll slowly cool down, uh, or quickly cool down, but within a range that doesn't crack the glass. So I can get round discs from him that he's helped me make, or he's made them for me to help me. Uh, and it's just like regular glass. I mean, I'd rather just start with a bottle bottom. That way, if I'm showing you how to make something, you can just make something out of what you can get. You don't have to have a fancy kiln and a furnace to get the product that I'm using. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to see that, I suppose. Let's see. R. Schneider says, yes, my thumbnail picture is a big pike. I caught a Stony Creek lake with a spear. You come into the hole to look at my fish decoys. Got him with a seven-tiered spear. Seven-tired spear? What's that mean? Ticks love to hang around honeysuckle. Mike Mason says, Illinois has developed a real tick problem since I was a kid. The Lone Star tick is my true enemy. Yeah, here in New England, the tick problem has gotten really bad as well. When I was little, I could go to the woods anytime I want and no ticks at all in New Hampshire. This was 30, 40 years ago. Now, up to 70% of the ticks here in southern Vermont carry Lyme disease, the deer ticks. Yeah. Luckily, there's not many deer ticks in this general area. But if I go on a trail, especially one that's furthest away, if there's deer there, there's going to be deer ticks. And sure enough, last time I went on that particular trail, I got 2 deer ticks on me. And up to 70% of those here contain or carry the Lyme disease. Yeah. So not going to that trail again. Did you say one time chickens eat ticks? Yeah. Guinea hens, I think, are the ones that go after ticks like crazy. I'm not sure about other chickens, but I know the guinea hens like to eat insects a lot, or they're very keen eyed. They'll get all the ticks. All right, let's see what the chat is saying because I'm farther behind now. Let's see. Okay, yeah. In stained glass, the lead is between the glass and not in the glass. Okay. But Robbie says, we have no ticks. We don't even have mosquitoes. Urban area is dead to all life but pigeons and humans. And maybe rats and mice, right? Let's see. I hate ticks too. They really suck. Yeah, yeah. Funny. Let's see. Midbar says rabbits here in the 80s used to be tick vacation cruise lines. Not so many rabbits anymore. Interesting. Danny Collins says, hey, everybody. I'm a little late to announce that. Brutus says, howdy, Danny. Ruby says, I work on stained glass for a living. Kokomo Glass in Indiana sells bars of glass. All right. Kokomo Glass in Indiana sells bars. Okay. Let me take a little pause here where I figure out how to write this down so I don't lose it as soon as I turn off the live stream. Let's see. So I still can't access the live stream very easily. I'll have to go through the whole. Okay, I don't want to get into it, but yeah, the live stream chat is not easy to access. Okay, Kokomo Glass. Indiana. Okay. Glass bars. If I don't write down that it sell glass bars, I'm gonna go, what does Kokomo Glass sell? Dinnerware? Because I'll forget. Let's see. So yeah, we're glad that Danny's in the house. Danny Collins. And Danny, let them know if you have copper and do you sell to people in Europe and how much is it? A couple of guys that are on the chat have asked about does anyone in Europe sell boppers? If you know of any, let us know. And if you sell or ship to Europe, let them know how much your boppers are as far as getting them to Europe. Okay, please. Yeah. Let's see. Danny says, Mike, I received a box of tools today. Haven't opened it yet. Let's see. Danny, some of these chaps were asking if you had root beer. Yep. David says, here in Alabama, we had a Brockway Glass Company made glass for Coca-Cola and others, had balls of glass by fence that overflow the molds, some good sized balls, just like basketball or bigger. We used them. Yeah. Let's see. Danny, if it is the medium flat rate box, open it up. I got something special in there for you. Okay. Brutus says, Danny Collins, lithics and leather. Would you consider sharing the formula you use to heat treat novaculite, perhaps? Yeah, you can give out temperatures for that. Ruby says they developed Lyme disease at Plum Island on the East Coast. Jim Main says we have deer ticks like crazy here in the Ozarks. Yeah. I feel your pain. Robbie says lots of rats. Yeah, in addition to humans and pigeons. Bill Taylor says, hey, everybody. Yeah, you're only an hour late. Ed asks, do you have root beer left? I think Danny has root beer. Yes, root beer shirt left. Last time I checked the website, he did. In case Danny doesn't respond. Let's see. Mike says, I heard ticks mainly get on you from the ground if you protect your feet and ankles well from them getting inside your clothing. It helps, but I'm not 100% positive I'm correct. Yeah, you have to get that permethrin spray and then not saturate, spray your clothes down and let the clothes dry without them being on you. Put your clothes in a pile, spray that spray on them, and let that spray mist dry up, and then put the clothes on, especially your socks, pants, and shoes, and they won't get on your clothing. And if they do, they'll fall off because the permethrin is a poison for them. Let's see. Bushy says, or Froto Joe says, same thing. Frodo Joe, his nickname is Bushy. All right. So he says, you got 2 deer ticks on you. Lucky. Last time I went to my church area, I picked off over 50 on me. One was embedded in my stomach. Always use permethrin. Yeah. There you go. I read your mind or you read my mind. I was running turtle lines on lunch break, says Mike Mason, a few years ago. Lone Star tick got on my betters. Felt like I was packing a plumb bob for days. Midbar says some ticks hang from branches and grab or drop on anything that moves. Yeah, the ticks around here, they sit on the grass. They just sit on the edge. They go out to the very end of the grass, or they'll go to the very end of the leaves on these little plants and stuff. They'll just sit on the end of the leaf, or sit on the end of a branch, or on the end of a blade of grass. And I've looked to see how they do it. And they sit there and they're out, their arms are out. They just sit on the very edge and their arms are like that. And you just brush by and they got little hooks, I guess, on their feet, and you pick them right up. Let's see. Jim Main says, Thomas Thompson says, we have jumping ticks. They also fly. Okay. Let's see. Midbar says, first time I saw flying roaches was in Texas. Yeah. Flying cockroaches, those big old roaches in Texas for sure. And the further south you go in Texas, the bigger they get. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ask Butter. I sent you some photos to your email. The videos were too long, apparently. You sent me some photos. Okay. I've got, oops, dang it. I got an email from Jim Cooper. Okay, here we go. Hey, I'm Ash Butter. Here's the photos of my equipment. That looks pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Looks like you've got goose feathers on the arrows. And an otter skin quiver. Right? Is that what that is? It looks pretty good. Let's see. Can we see? We can see a little bit. No? This is working better than last time. But last time we couldn't see anything from my phone. The phone was too bright for some reason. So yeah, thanks for sending me the photos. That way I can access it immediately. That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like a sinew back bow, right? Yeah. Awesome. Let's see. Mike Mason says, deer ticks are prone to being in the grass and shrubs. Others will fall from trees and others still can teleport. That'd be terrible. Mike Tuff says, thanks, Patrick. I'll try that I just been using my dog's flea collar when I go to the woods. Yeah, you can buy that spray on Amazon. They sell it specifically for clothing. Well, I don't know if it's specifically for clothing. I wish I could tell you how to look it up on Amazon. But permethrin spray. It's used for exteriors too. You spray it around your door. If you have ticks that are on the plants outside the front door, if you live in an area that's heavily infested with ticks, you can spray the outside of your house. But you can also use it on your clothing. You just got to make sure it's dry before you put the clothing on. Don't spray the wet permethrin on your skin. Ticks are just a way of life here. That's how most people get married. Checking for ticks, David. All right, let's see. Grass, trees, fencing, anything. The ticks are everywhere. Wow. Okay. That's not good. Jim Cooper says, Patrick, I just sent a short email with a material you might find interesting. There's 2 short videos. The smaller one is the most important one. I'm curious to see what you think of the material. Okay, Jim. Yeah, I think I saw that email. Yeah, okay. So magnetic napping, I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. I am not sure what I'm looking at. It just looks like a blob of tar. Okay. It just looks like a blob of tar. I don't know what did you say here again? Let's see here. Just sent you a short email with a material you might find interesting. There's 2 short videos. The smaller one is the more important one. I don't know what I think of the material because all I see is a blob of tar. And it's magnetized. See, I can't see. I can't give you an assessment because I can't see a side view. I don't know if those are flakes. I don't know what you napped it with, if it's napped. I don't know what kind of magnet. Is that a high strength magnet or a regular magnet? See, sometimes high strength magnets will actually magnetize a material, so it's not magnetized to begin with, but if you use a high strength magnet on it, it becomes magnetized. So you got to be a little more specific in order for me to give you an assessment on what's going on there. All right, let's see. Jim Cooper says, I've taken it to several experts, but no one can tell me for sure what they are. Yeah, I can't tell just by looking at the picture. You may be magnetizing it with a high strength magnet. But it can contain iron that can become magnetized. I think there's some other elements that can become magnetized temporarily as well. But I need to see flakes. I need to see where you took the flake off as well, and I need to see a side view and the videos. Let's see. I see one video. You're touching a magnet with it. And okay, so some of the material will be more magnetic than other material. Okay, so it looks like glass, right? And you touch a magnet, it'll pick up the magnet. Okay, so that's glass that has some sort of. I mean, it looks like glass that contains some sort of magnetized material. You have to chip it and see. Tell me if it naps like glass. Let's see. R. Snyder says ticks can drop down from branches above you after it rains. They climb up to get away from the water. Really? Dang. I have a 48-inch long 6 by. Okay. Jim Main says, I have a 40-inch long by 6-inch Osage log. Is that long enough for a bow? Yes. Or should I just make handles? No, 48 inches is long enough for a bow, but there's always a big but. What is the draw length that you want? You always divide it by 2. You divide the length of the bow by 2 and then reduce that again by 20%. So let's say it's a 48-inch stave. Divided by 2 is 24 inches. So that's the draw. You can only draw it back 24 inches maximum to be safe, but reduce it down by 20% more. So 10% would be 2.5 inches. So take it down another 5 inches. That's 20%. So 19-inch draw with a 48-inch bow to be safe. Now, if you back it with sinew, then it's back up to half the length of the stave. So if it's a 48-inch stave, you back it with sinew, you can draw it to 24 inches safely. And if it's wide enough, it gets very technical. If you don't have sinew on the back and it's wide enough, you can draw it to 19 inches and be safe. Okay? So if that matches something you want to build, then the answer is yes. If not, make handles. Ed Gould says, hey, I got a new car, 1956 Ford Fairlane Victoria 4-door hardtop. Dang it, that's not new. But yeah, congratulations. That sounds awesome. Midbar says, my 1975 14-foot RV has 96K miles on it on the odometer. He whistles innocently. Yeah. You have not adjusted that at all, have you? Let's see. Justin says, Patrick, I was late getting your package in the mail, but it should arrive tomorrow. I'll email some descriptions I got. I forgot the letter. Oh, okay, I see. Very good. If you email the descriptions, that would be nice. Yes, I always need some descriptions. See, the old odometers rolled over at 100K. Yeah. Jim Cooper says, that's a preform. I did open up the shorter video. It will make more sense. Let's see. Mike Mason. I'm not sure if it's still true, but permethrin was available in bulk concentrate at gamer supply stores. Maybe. I bought mine off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. I got 2 bottles for I don't know about cheap, but it was reasonably priced. Danny Collins, Lithics and Leather says, I have lots of root beer. So Danny Collins has lots of root beer at flintnappingtraditions.com. Bill Taylor, that's a true midbar. Let's see. Or that is true midbar. Let's see. Hey, Danny's here. N Doghouse. His name's Danny. Obsidian sometimes has magnetite crystals in it. I've never seen it magnetic, but magnetite is definitely magnetic. The sheen you see is usually magnetite. I'm a geologist, if that helps. Yes, that helps, Danny. I'm glad that someone chimed in on that because that was weird to see that. And it looks like glass that has, like you said, magnetite crystals in it. Mike Mason says, sorry, it should have read farmer supply stores. Okay. There you go. That makes sense. Let's see. Smallzilla just bought some root beer shirt from Danny. Always appreciated his services and material. Might he treat it? I like my glossy rock. Ha! Also got some of that hornstone. Awesome. Yeah, see? Good information on the live stream comment section. So hopefully you're not wasting all your time. If someone asks, your better half, if she asks what you're doing, just go on. I'm doing research and it's providing me with lots of materials and contacts. Okay? Don't worry about it. And you won't be lying, okay? Because that's what they watch out for. You lied to me last time. What are you doing now? So don't be lying. Yep. Let's see. Jesse says, what doesn't this guy know? Thanks, Pat, for the ratio info on bow length versus draw length. Wrote that down. Good. I'm glad. Yeah. It took me a long time to get that information, so I'm glad it's actually helping. So, yeah, I'm going to be getting some black locust to work on very soon. I've got some already, but it was very poor quality. I need to get some good quality stuff. Yep. And I'll be visiting Frodo, Joe, or Bushy here. See if I can get some at his place. Yeah. And I'm also going to check out some fence post sellers that we have around here that sell black locust fence posts. I'm looking forward to making bows out of that stuff. Some of the fence posts look pretty good in the pictures that I saw. I'll have to go and pick them out myself, but one of the sellers put in the description that I can pick whatever I want. Just go down there and pick them out. I think there's like a minimum purchase of 7 pieces or whatever, which is it's fine. Let's see. Let's see. Adios. Ed says, adios. See you later. Alrighty. Have fun. Take it easy. Eat some dinner or whatever. So, yeah. Who's a bow maker in the comment section? I know there's a couple of bow makers in here. Danny in Doghouse. Danny, have you made bows? I forgot to ask you at the last nap-in. See, David says black locust works good for short bows. Cool. Tomlinson is here. Yeah, Danny makes bows. Yes, sir. Okay, so is 48 inches good for bows? Do you like those short bows or do you prefer the longer ones? I used to prefer the longer ones, but now I'm getting into making the shorter ones. Let's see. Mike Mason says, I'm an amateur, haven't done any great bow builds yet. All right. In the past, actually, I started making short bows and then I didn't like them. And I got into making longer bows and I like those a lot. And now I'm trying to get back into making shorter bows that I like. I haven't really made very many short bows that I actually like better than the longer bows that I made. I'm trying to figure out a way to make a short bow that shoots smoothly. Yeah. They're snappy, but for some reason they don't feel smooth enough to I have trouble aiming the short bows or keeping them aimed. They tend to at the very last fraction of a second, they tend to move a little bit, so I'm not as accurate with a short bow. They move somehow that I can't figure out how to fix that little jolt at the very end, which throws off the aim. Excuse me. Hold on. I can feel I'm going to be hoarse here in a second. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Danny says 48 inches is fine. I have one that's 28 inches. Well, there you go. Dang it. The shortest one I've ever made is like 34 inches. Hickory wood is fine bow wood. And after it ages, you can fire harden to bring it back to life. Sweet. David says you can fire harden it. Yeah. The hickory is the only wood that I've found that fire hardens well. I've tried fire hardening on lots of other wood and it just made it weaker, but hickory is different. Oak does fire harden too a little bit. I think when I fire hardened the live oak, it seemed to work okay. And that is considered a white oak. Let's see. Yeah, Danny says 48 inches is fine. I have one that's 28 inches. Yep. Ferdo Joe, I have about 10 to 20 black locusts. My one neighbor has lots. We can check with him too. I have thousands of other trees. Awesome. Comanche bows are 3 foot or so. They are used on horseback. Yep. I've seen the short Comanche bows. Yes. 3 feet, 36 inches. Yeah. The shortest I've made was a little bit under 36 inches, but the draw on that one was very, very short. It was like 16 inches, 16 or 18 inches. And it was Osage. So what I did was I shaved it down and gave it to my daughter. From a 40 pound, I shaved it down to like about a 20 or 15 pound bow. Yep. Let's see. Ass Butter says, I like my bows like I like my women, short and curvy. Mm-hmm. Have you tried the Nacho-Matic? Yeah, I've got Nacho-Matics. Outcast Metal Detecting asks me. Yes, they work well. I've got videos that have the Nacho-Matic used in them. I use the Nacho-Matic a lot for removing step fractures, but it has to be at the correct angle. And I probably need to do a separate video only on using the Nacho-Matic for removing step fractures, just so I can have a short, separate video just for that. I also have modified the Nacho-Matic to make it a Punch-O-Matic, a vertical punch, so I can punch out notches vertically. You can still punch out notches vertically in the condition that it arrives in when you order one, but I sharpened it to a point to make punch notches that are much smaller. Yeah. I call that the Punch-O-Matic. All right, let's see. Ass Butter says, okay. They are very hard to aim, though. Mm-hmm. Short bows are hard to aim. Yeah. It's hard to keep them on target. It says, Bill says, watch for ring shake in black locust. Yeah. I need to look that up because I'm not sure what that means. Tomlinson, sinew backing really helps a lot. Yes, it does. It just makes your bow high maintenance, though. I remember in one of your previous streams, we discussed the natives' hygiene. Previous subject was haircuts, but now I'm hoping you share your knowledge on what they did for dental care. Yeah, believe it or not, the go-to for dental care was just remove the tooth. Okay, how do you remove the tooth? You have to pin down your patient because they don't do it with anesthetic. and they hit. They take a little wood punch, very similar to an antler punch. And they knock the tooth one way, then the other way, then the other way, then the other way. And eventually, it's loose enough to pull out. Okay. Most dental treatments involve removing the teeth. Now, how did they clean their teeth? Nobody knows for sure, but they obviously used toothpicks whenever they had some of that available. How should I explain this? They used toothpicks when they had a sharp stick or a thorn available. Yeah. And yeah, they would pack, once you remove the tooth, you would have to pack it with a squib, what they call a squib, which could be almost anything. So you were probably chewing on a squib before they removed the teeth, right? And you keep the squib in your mouth. And then when they're removing it and quickly pulled out your tooth, hopefully you stuff that squib in that pocket to stop the bleeding. But you would have to keep changing it out. And I forget what they found squibs in archaeological finds. A lot of them were chewed because it contained a drug, caffeine or cocaine or something like that. Or, coca leaves, you can make them into squibs. This is in South America. But nicotine and caffeine can be found in other plants, and you just roll it up into a bundle and stick it in your mouth. That's what I mean by a squib. You just chew on it and you get the effect. But there are other squibs that are specifically to stop bleeding in the mouth and that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. And keep this in mind too. Excuse me for a minute. Yeah, keep this in mind too. People back in the day did not eat sugar like we eat now. So tooth decay was not a problem like it is now. Okay? Just keep that in mind too. We have a lot worse dental problems because we eat sugar and bread and things that are going to breed bacteria in your mouth that were not present in the diets back in the day. Okay? Dang. This is a really bad episode. Episode of phlegm. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Let me get back to where I was. I made a couple of beautiful self bows, says Jesse, that were simply too short, trying to get the draw length I need for my long monkey arms. I should have just kept the arrow length and draw length shorter. Yeah. You can shoot long arrows from a short draw length bow. A lot of tribes did that, especially if you look at photos of Apache Indians. You can see direct evidence that they were using very short draw bows with long arrows. Okay. Let's see. The Osage bow, says Jesse, I'm working on. Let's see. Let me hold on here. Jesse says the Osage bow I'm making will be much longer. Okay. Bill Taylor says, how about mountain mahogany? Anybody know about it? It's really hard wood. Yeah, mountain mahogany is used for foreshafts on Native American arrows. Mountain mahogany for bow wood should be fine if you can find a thick enough piece. I'm not sure how thick it grows. A friend of mine sent me some arrow shoots made of mountain mahogany. I shouldn't say made of. He sent me some shoots that were good enough to make arrows from. but on my attempt to straighten the mountain mahogany, I couldn't get a long arrow out of any of the shoots that he sent me. It was too hard to straighten. However, I got lots of foreshafts from it. It's good wood for foreshafts. Let's see. David says, use young trees for black locust so you don't get ring shake. Okay, good. That's good to know. So small diameter black locust should work better. I see. R. Snyder says, yes, short and curvy and sweet. Yeah. N. Doghouse says, my shortest is 4 inches of Osage. It shoots short bamboo skewers. Yeah. I thought, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, did you bring that to the nap-in? I think you brought that little tiny bow to the nap-in. That was pretty cool. Bill says, like hackberry. Yeah, hackberry's pretty good for bow wood. Where am I on this? Let's see, where am I? I'm way behind. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Use pignut hickory for bows and you can recurve the ends to smooth it out. I see. Yeah. I've tried pignut hickory. It is really tough. And it was very crooked. It's not my favorite. Pignut hickory is not my favorite bow wood. Not even close. It was kind of difficult for me to work with it. Let's see. Mike Mason says, I heard how to size a bow to yourself. I heard how to size a bow to yourself. Put a yardstick to the AI center of your chest, fingers outstretched on both sides, double the number you reach, and add 4 inches for the handle. Okay. Charles Land, if you like pony, upgrade to horse. I don't know what that means. David says, we have a tree called stopper wood, aka snakewood, here. Alabama swamps, great bowwood. Yes. Stopper wood? I don't know. You used to make stoppers out of it back in the day? Let's see. Jim Main says, I have plenty of hickory and American elm. May try one of those for a first timer. Yeah. One of my favorites, I think it's either my first or second, is elm. American elm is good. I also have used Siberian elm and red elm. There's elm back here. I need to get some more of it. Elm is one of my favorite. It's in the top 3 of my favorite bow woods. But it has to be straight when you first get it. Yeah. It's hard to straighten the elm and keep it straight. It's easy to straighten, but keeping it straight is the hard part. But that's what makes it a good bow. If it doesn't, retain its shape when you bend it. It's good for bows if it's hard to keep straight because it'll go back to its original shape and it'll be good. All right, let's see. It's Throwcessive says, I made a white oak recurve fiberglass back bow with 55-pound draw weight, 28 inches draw length. Has been working well for 2 years. Killed my first deer with it. Awesome. White oak recurve fiberglass backed. Now, did you back it with the cloth fiberglass or a fiberglass strip? Give us a little more detail. Let's see. Mike Mason says, we have sassafras here that's supposedly commonly used to lightly brush your teeth. I don't know. Let's see. Charles Land says, sure, David, but it's 2025. The best rigs carefully designed ply. Not sure what that means. David Rushing, Native American haircut, $10. Haha. Yeah. Brian Olson's here. Can back a bow with fiberglass drywall tape if you don't care about having it on your bow. Yeah, I've seen people back their bows with that fiberglass drywall mesh tape and tight bond. Yeah, but you can use epoxy too, I imagine. Yeah. Brutus says I made and used an antler punch for a bad tooth. Fun times. You did? Hmm. The use of Osage veneers is limitless, Charles says. I believe it. Charles asks, why are we always looking back? I don't know. We want to reproduce what they used to make? What was to come next in the napping history? I don't know. I don't know what that means. What was to come next? Let's see. Brutus asks, let's see, he's old. Mike Mason, Brutus Thunderhand. That's tough as woodpecker lips. Charles Land, what is man had not realized copper? What if man had not realized copper, etc.? Oh, they would have found something else for sure. David Rushing, fiberglass drywall tape did not do so good for me. What did I do wrong? You didn't use enough of it. That's probably it. Got to use a lot of it. Charles Land asks, and sec thousands on this tech. Tomlinson, they did eat a lot of grit from the mono and metate that wore their teeth smooth. Yeah. But you can still get tooth decay even if you wear your teeth smooth. If you eat a lot of sugar, you can still get tooth decay. It does reduce it somewhat because the food cannot get in the crevices. But you can still get tooth decay even with flat teeth. The way to avoid tooth decay is don't eat sugary or sweet stuff, and not too many things that have not too many starchy or carbohydrate foods. If you eat mostly meat, like you're supposed to, and mostly fat, you don't get much tooth decay at all or bad breath. All right, just so you know. How do I know? I don't know. I'm on a mostly meat diet. That's how I know. And grits from monos. Yeah. That was a thing. Yeah. If you don't know what that is, humans have been grinding their food with between two rocks for for thousands of years. Yeah. The air is so dry here. In case you're wondering why I'm hacking up a lung, the air is so dry here that mucus gets very thick and I have trouble swallowing it. Let's see. What does it say? What does this say? Let's see. Hornbeam bows well if you can find good pieces. I like hop hornbeam. I don't know about regular hornbeam, but hop hornbeam is good stuff. Alan Cole says, hello, everyone. Your friendly reminder, Gummy says, smash that like button. Danny N. Doghouse says, Yopon Holly is the best for caffeine in North America, hence its genus name Vomitorium. Imagine that. I believe it is the only plant in North America with caffeine. I think other plants also have caffeine, but yeah, Yopon Holly is the one where they used to gorge themselves on it to the point where they would throw up. And that would give them the caffeine buzz that they were looking for. Yeah. When you threw up, you knew you've had enough caffeine to get that buzz from the Yopon Holly. Yep. There is a name for that tea that they used to make, but I can't remember what it is. Jim Cooper says serviceberry is the best I can find where I am, but good luck finding a straight enough piece. Yeah, that's true. Some of these woods are not growing very straight, or they don't grow very straight. Charles says, Jack, nap us some 1-ton points. I forgot what that is. I used to know what that was, or I used to know what that joke was. See, Bill Taylor says, hello, Lauren, and thank you, Pat, for the mountain mahogany info. Oh, you're welcome. Throw cessive lattice can be a lot easier to make before trying self bows, especially if you have access to river cane. Yeah, the lateral thrower and lateral dart are much easier to construct than a bow and arrow. Yep. Plants here have been here thousands of years. The people that know all of their uses can count them on one hand. Yeah, a lot of that information has been lost over time, unfortunately. Charles says, modernized man replaced the need for folks to buy points. Make the modern napping markets. Let's see. Jim Cooper says there's other options, but for one reason of another, they aren't viable where I live. For instance, big leaf maple was used, but I think the climate is too dry where I live, because it's too brittle. Yeah. Could be. The old Irish made some interesting bows. Yeah. I've seen the bows from the UK, the old ones. David DiLorenzo, the Vietnamese used to make them little crossbows that would shoot a skewer. Yeah, there's videos on that stuff. Charles, stop playing Stone Age Stone. The hell, man. I don't know what these things mean. Let's see. Processive cloth, fiberglass, and epoxy. Cloth, fiberglass, and epoxy. Okay, good. Some guys will laminate a fiberglass strip, 16th of an inch thick or eighth of an inch thick on the back. But you use the fiberglass fabric, right? It's a little bit easier, I think. Can you cut cedar elm saplings on the side of the road to make usable bows? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Asher asks, anywhere you can get the staves, go get them. There's a place here just down the road where they cut down all kinds of trees and they just left them. I'm thinking of going this as soon as the snow clears off to go get some of those, because some of them are pretty straight and they're like 4 to 6 inches in diameter. But I guess the city or the county came by and took off all the trees from underneath these telephone poles, and they just left them sitting there. They mulched up the small stuff, but left the big stuff just sitting there on the side of the road, on the hill. I'm thinking of picking up some of that stuff. We'll see. It may already be full of insects. Napping kits with purpose and function. But yeah, you can go ahead and, if you have access, as long as it's within a certain distance from the road, you can cut those saplings, not get in trouble. Let's see, Charles, you love Osage orange, but never use the benefit of ply version of the same. I don't know. I haven't used laminated Osage. I use old stuff. Yeah. Smallzilla just did some more looking into the Native American dental stuff and found out some cultures flint knap their own dental drills. Yeah, it looks like a normal drill, but it made me chuckle. Yeah, but the reason why they would use dental drills back in the day is to put ornaments in their teeth. They would drill the tooth just so far, and they would insert ornaments like little pieces of gold or whatever. Yep, they had bling back in the day, and I guess it was a sign of wealth. And they even did that with children's teeth. and they found these teeth in pits in Central America where they would sacrifice people and children. It's a gruesome thing, but some of those sacrifices had teeth that were drilled, and then they would insert either gold or some other material into the holes in the teeth. There is still a question, Charles asks. There is still a question, or he states that. Charles, where would that tech have led if not flat out replaced? Are you talking about the copper tech? If man didn't have copper, what would have replaced it, and where would that tech have gone to? Well, are you insinuating that man would not have discovered any metals at all? Because not only did people discover you can extract metals from the ground just in a natural state like copper, you can also heat up like iron ore and get iron. If they hadn't discovered copper, they would have definitely discovered iron because they were doing the same thing with iron, uh, heating it up to shape it after they made the little, I forget what they call it, but in forging, you can take iron ore, heat it up, and you get a little crusty little ball of iron, and then you can heat it up and pound it into whatever shapes. They were heating up copper like that too and pounding it into different shapes. They would have used iron if they didn't have copper. I hope that answers that question. And then on to other metals. Let's see. I need to start going through these comments much more quickly. Let's see. Ahab the fisherman is here. All righty. Let's see. Let's see. Finally home to watch you live. Yep, we still got some time. I might go longer than just to finish reading up these comments. Yeah, we're almost done with the live stream. Let's see. Yopon Holly still think used to get berries to grow myself. The black tea ritual. There it is. Yeah. I would not try it. Yopon Holly berries are extremely bitter. Yeah. David Rushing. Yopon is the black drink. There you go. Black drink. R. Snyder says, enjoying this chat. Great group here. Oh, yes. Charles Land. I'm pretty sure we can make a napping AI. No, I don't know. That'll be difficult. Yeah. Because it'll get upset when you give it some material that's not consistent. It won't know what to do. It won't understand why it messed up either. AI will start talking like this to you. I don't know why I'm messing up. What did you do? Give me something that's not consistent. I saw a little void in it. I don't like it voids. Give me something without a void. It'll start sounding like that, believe me. Let's see. Mike Mason still trying to get berries, not think stinking fat thumb. Charles Lance says, what about the lost potential? There's no lost potential in not having copper, right? Because stone is adequate for almost everything that you want. And then and then pottery, unless you didn't have pottery, then you would be screwed. If man didn't come up with pottery eventually, that affects a lot. The fact that they can now have a reliable container to boil stuff in and that sort of thing. That made a big difference. But as far as the tools go, they could use stone for whatever copper was used for. You can use stone. It's going to break more easily than copper, but it still works. And it's a lot more available than copper. Let's see. NDN Doghouse. Yerba mate is the tea, I think. I love it. Easy to make. Yeah. New point ain't got to look nothing like the old. Right. What you holding, Hinky? This is a microphone. See? Microphone. It looks like a little troll doll with a little fuzzy hair on it, but it's a microphone. I do this so I can control the volume of the microphone. So if I cough, I can hold it away. If it's here and I cough, you can hear the whole thing. As an example, the Irish bows had a hole for one end of the string and then a regular notch on the other end of the bow. I see. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that is true. I didn't know they were Irish though, but I have seen that kind of bow. Let's see. Jim Cooper says, I've seen videos of guys making a silk backing for bows out of thrift store ties. Oh, dang. People use anything these days, I suppose, but you got to make sure that it's actual silk, right? I suppose polyester would work. Yeah. Funny, people call dandelions weeds, but look up the benefits of the root. Yep. You can, the root is uh, actually good for teas and stuff. I tried it once. I don't like it, but yeah, you've got to sweeten it considerably, and I don't eat sugar anymore, so that's out for me. Ahab says, I've seen it as well. Mike Mason, midbar, the whole thing is food, but the sepals are one of the most bitter things around. There you go. Let's see. Mike Mason. Anyone familiar with ghost pipe? I have found it in some bottoms in my area before. I don't remember that particular plant. I posted a tribute to Fred Bear on my channel, R. Snyder says. Okay, good. I'll check that out. Let's see. Okay, hold on. In case you're new to the chat, whenever I lose my place in the chat trying to read them, it takes forever for me to find my place because there is no easy way to control the scrolling on the chat. So it takes me forever to get back to where I was. Because at one wrong touch and the whole thing advances to the very end or wherever. It just randomly stops somewhere. Every time I look through the chat when I'm behind, it randomly puts me somewhere if I hit the scroll thing just a little bit not correctly. Okay. I'm going to skip a bunch of these things here. Let's see. Jim Cooper says, not napping related, but a few years ago, I got to make a handle for an 18th century katana using traditional materials and methods, the most interesting of which being hide glue and stingray skin. All right. Stingray skin? I've heard shark skin also. The iron would be in a conglomerate of materials known as slag. Yep. Ahab the fisherman. But there's a name for that original or the initial first little ball of iron you get when you heat the iron ore. I wish I could remember the name, but you do get the little, after you break apart all the slag and you get a little bit of iron, it's a little weird looking blob in the middle of all that slag. And I forget what that's called. Some of you guys that are into forging, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Brutus says, Will Lord has a vid that shows making a clay kiln hide bellows with a crucible of copper ore and pours an axe head. Yeah. Yep. The crusty ball of iron is called a bloom. There you go. Throwcessive. He knew what it was called. It's the bloom. Yes. That's what you are looking for when you throw in all that iron ore and melt it down. You're looking for the bloom, and then you can shape it. The Japanese collected hematite sand with magnets to forge their samurai swords. Awesome. You cook limestone to make quicklime. Yeah, you heat the limestone up very hot, and it becomes quicklime, which you can make mortar out of it once you add water to it again. Let's see. Let's see. Midbar says AI will be like the Hawkwind song "Adjust Me." Charles Land, you can do better than Krusty Bloom. Maybe so. Let's see here. I'm looking through, trying to catch up, trying to figure out where I'm at after it does a random little thing in the comment section. It's called Roman concrete, the hydrated or the quick lime. Yeah, the Romans had a good formula for concrete. It was not only that, but it was something else too. They used some volcanic ash within their mortar that worked really well. Let's see. Midbar, have you ever drank dandelion wine before? It's a good question. Never thought you could make wine out of that stuff. Let's see. It's an acquired taste. Somebody knows. It's an acquired taste, but potent. Yeah. Let's see. I have a ghost pipe in some areas around where I live. Jim Cooper has ghost pipe. Ahab the fisherman. The Indians where I live didn't have pottery. They made cooking pots with juncus or tool reed covered in pitch or asphaltum. Put the hot rocks in and shake it about to cook. I see. Ghost pipe is a pain. Mike Mason says. David Rushing says ghost pipe is a mushroom. Yes. I don't know. Ghost pipe is what? Let's see. Never mess with Jimson weed. Let's see. We're talking about mushrooms and different plants now. Let's see. Iron blob is called a bloom. Yep. Asher Williams pill. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to skip through some of these comments and get to some of these larger comments. Evan says, just came back on a choice edible mushroom. Come on. What was said, but it's medicinal in tincture. It's from a plant that doesn't use photosynthesis. Yeah. Smallzilla heading out for the night. And as always, I enjoyed the live stream. Very fun tuning in. I'm glad you're here. See you later, Harley. See you next time. I'm going to wrap it up very soon here. Ed Gould says goodbye. Or Charles Land, to melt iron and oxygen-free environment. Yep. The Italians were great at making concrete shoes. I get what you did there. Jim Cooper says ghost pipe is not a mushroom. It's actually a class of plant that is not photosynthetic. Okay. Jim Cooper knows. Red-eyed Patriot says I made and posted an eccentric art point a couple days ago. Started chipping on the stuff Al sent me. Glad to be napping again. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to end the stream. It's already 9 minutes past the hour. This was good. I need to track the auction. I haven't checked the comments. I will like your comment if I see it. If I haven't liked your comment in the next 15 minutes or so, ask me if I can see your comments. And if I don't respond to that either, you can send me an email and I'll try to figure out how to bid for you or suggest something that maybe you can fix the issue. All right. Let's see. Yep. Go bid on something. We'll see you later, everybody. We're going to see you later. I'm going to cut the live stream here in a second. You see Charles Land. You just need to watch the videos, Charles. There's videos on how to extract ore with primitive materials. And like it was said earlier, Will Lord has a video on that too. See you later. Ahab the fisherman. Thanks, Killer Cork. I'm glad you liked the live stream. Thanks for all the information. Great stream. You're very welcome. Good night. Danny, taters and onions and stuff. It's dinner time here. Yeah, I've got dinner too, but I got to warm it up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. Take care, everybody. Yep. See you later. Next live stream is Wednesday. I'm going to be doing napping on Wednesday. Good luck on your bows. Maybe a blowgun too. Yeah. Eventually, I'll get to all kinds of these primitive weapons. Yeah, because that's what I like. That's my hobby. All righty. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. Good night.